of the magical things about AI is that it's not particularly prejudiced against data. So it'll learn from whatever you give it. But that's a double edged sword, isn't it? Because you have to make sure that the data you're giving it is actually representing what you're seeing. Right. And the thing about sensing world is there's a whole spectrum of quality. Right. And so, like, I have weather sensors in my backyard as a hobbyist. I wouldn't trust them for any business decisions. Right. But the AI wouldn't know any better. And so there's this whole question, and I bring it up in weather because, most people are like, it's weather, but this stuff like is life and death a lot of the time,
Mm.
right? It's and the weather's not the only thing, but it's absolutely one of those things that's life and death. It can be life and death of a business, right? Business decisions. And so at the end of the day, it's like you might want to make sure that what you're putting in is good, right? Or and if you're going to use lower quality information that's much more numerous, well, you better at least calibrate that somehow, right? Compare that to some reference piece. This is something we're thinking a lot about right now, because our sensors are super high quality, but they're also costly. And so it's not realistic to deploy them at the same scale that I might be able to do a lower cost sensor. But that doesn't mean that the lower cost sensor data isn't useful. But there's this real question about the sort of scientific fidelity of things that nobody's answered yet because we're just moving too fast. But I think it will come back. Like everything goes full cycle, right? Lots of
Mm.
hype, but when you really start to get back to the foundations and start using these things, we still have questions to answer. The only thing I always watch out for is I try to make sure that my own perspective isn't rooted in the past. So it's a really interesting balance of like what could be and like, but the good thing about the past is it really was foundational, wasn't it? Right? It was
Yeah.
explainable. It was based on good scientific principles. So we want to take the best of the past and bring it forward into this world. So